afraid of her ex-husband?
In some ways, yes.
Okay, we're going to get ready to pleat our front of Lee. You're going to need a dowel rod. You're going to need something to roll the fabric on. You're also going to need your pleater. I have my pleater and pleater box. Get it where you can see it. I already got it threaded. I've threaded 8 needles. I'm going to be smocking on 6, so I need two rows more than what I'm going to be pleating on. I mean smocking on. So I threaded 8. And see, I just left a space here because this row right here is going to be my guide row, so I can help keep my material straight while I'm pleating. And then I just moved my other needles down here. Okay, we're going to start with the dress front. I don't really have anything on here that I need to mark, so I'm going to be taking the pins out and then rolling it up on the dowel rod. And hopefully you're going to be able to see.
They were surprised by his reaction. He appeared to have been devastated by the news.
I do not take my other pattern pieces off until I get ready to use them. So I just take a pattern off as I'm getting ready to use it. And I did forget to mention to you guys in the other video, when you iron your material, also iron your pattern pieces. Do not use steam to iron your pattern pieces. Just use a dry iron. And because you want everything as smooth as possible. When I take this off, I will go ahead and fold it up because I won't be using it anymore. First, let me mark this. Let me get my pen. Whoa, where's my pen?
Never wavered from his story. Did he agree to take a polygraph?
Yes, he did.
What were the results of the test?
He passed it.
I don't know where my pen's are right offhand.
And without a witness or physical
Hey, I'm just going to use any pen.
investigators
I want
had no choice
to mark my top,
on their suspects.
just so I know this is my top.
Shift the focus of that investigation away from him. I don't believe that we
And then I'm going to fold up my pattern piece.
but we determined that we really needed to start looking in other directions.
And that search quickly uncovered a new name. Patty's friend was attempting
I am going to open up
a new man.
my front because I cut it on the fold.
Patty had been involved in a relationship with a young man.
I'm going to spread it out as much as possible. I got a small workspace here because I'm not where I normally sew at. And I know this is my top.
About his lack of being able to control his anger.
And I'm just going to start rolling it on the dowel. And hopefully you can see this. Let me see.
Shortly after separating from his wife. Although his ex and his 5 children still live nearby,
I'm just going to start rolling it on the dowel. I want to make sure this edge stays kind of straight. I want to try to keep my material as straight as possible because I don't want it to be feeding in there all wonky. If it does, you can kind of pull on it and straighten it as it's going. But just try to keep an eye on up here. Make sure you're just keeping everything rolled straight and kind of keep it as tight as possible.
Batiste claimed that after attending the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, he had spent the rest of the night with a new girlfriend. When investigators tried to check out that alibi, what did they find?
We found out that what he told us might not be true.
Bring it off a little bit.
Who could definitively say where Terry Batiste had been at the time of the crime. And his ever-shifting story had placed him.
I'm not working in my normal sewing room, so I have less space.
You always hear the old saying that nothing good happens after 12.
Working the great reproduction has a certain amount of danger to them.
Under the cover of darkness is where the worst crimes occur.
It's like looking at the devil in his eyes.
I watched her sleeping for a while, and then I grabbed her. Dead of Night, on Thursday at 9. Stream live and catch up on IDGO. Download the free app now. Have a seat.
Hey, where's the food? What kind of meeting is this?
We just said that so you would show up.
What? No food?
Okay, I got it all rolled up now.
Your coworkers told me you haven't done your
I'm
taxes.
gonna let you look at it. My fabric is all rolled. And now we're gonna get ready to pleat it. So I'm gonna move this down so you can see.
So there's no snacks?
I do have my pleater sitting on a pleating box. You don't have to have a pleating box.
Moisturizing lotion is a daily defense that protects against dry
Before I ordered my pleating box, I had bobbins that I had put on like a rod with wing nuts on the end. And that's what I used for my thread. I use quilting thread, and I always use orange thread. That's why I don't have to change. That way I don't have to change my thread colors depending on what I'm working on. Trying to get it where you can really see. Before I use it for smocking, I do kind of soak it in water and let it dry. That way it will kind of help with the giving your thread strength. Okay, make sure you get the top up here. You're gonna have to look at your printer directions. Your pleater directions to see if your fabric rolls over or under. And I didn't put it far enough down on the stick. So boo-boo. Okay, I want it to line up right here. My material to line up. Like I said, I didn't put this one far enough down because I really want my other end of my stick to rest in that handle. So that's a boo-boo on my part. Oh well, we'll make the best of it. Okay, line my material up. And that's going to help. That right there is going to help me keep my material straight because I'm going to line it up with that first spot that I don't, where a needle goes, that I don't have a needle there. And I'm just going to turn my handle. I wished I would have put my fabric down some, but I wasn't thinking. Don't make my mistake. And you're just going to roll it real slow. Just go nice and slow. I'm having to go slower than normal since my stick is not resting on the other side. And I want to keep it straight because I don't want any puckers in. If you don't keep it straight, you'll get puckers. Once your needles gets full, just stop and pull your material off. And keep going.
Police in Hastings, Nebraska were on the hunt for the killer of 26-year-old Patty Wilson. Detectives had first taken a
Usually
hard
I
look at Patty's
wind my
ex-husband
material in the middle of my dowel rod.
after they got
I don't
into
know
a
why I
feud
didn't
with
this
Patty's
time.
wife. His name was Terry Batiste.
That's the reason I have a
And
long
when
one. I like
investigators
working with a
confronted
long
him
dowel
about
rod.
his whereabouts on the night of the crime, it appeared they had caught him in a lie. Patty Wilson's new boyfriend told detectives he had attended an AA meeting in Hastings and spent the night at the home of another woman.
Like I said, I am making a size 6 months, so you're going to be pleating. Look on the your pattern and see how many rows you need to pleat for whatever size dress you're making.
Narrowed down to around
Yeah, sometime after 10:30 at night.
But when investigators asked the young woman to back up
And you
Batiste's
always
testimony,
want to pleat
she told them
2 rows more than what you're smocking. Like I said, I'm going to smock 6 rows, so I want to pleat 8.
1 or 2 in the morning.
the conflicting stories made Terry Batiste the
Make sure you stop for your material off your needles because you don't want to break any needles. Smocking needles are expensive and some of them are hard to come by. See, I have a Sally Stanley pleater and they're pretty hard to come by. I have found a couple of places to order them from.
Detective Mike Finney tracked down Batiste and put him in handcuffs.
I arrested him on a warrant for his failure to show up for the deposition.
As police took a closer look at the recently separated father of 5, they discovered a potential motive for the crime.
When you get your pleater, some of the manuals will tell you to feed your material in where it will, where the raw sides are going up. Some of them will tell you go down. So make sure you look at your pleater manual to see which way you feed yours in. Okay, let me move this dowel rod.
But from behind bars,
I don't want that to get puckered there.
continued to insist he had nothing to do with Patty's murder. He even agreed to take a polygraph exam. What were those results?
Okay. There we make sure all of our material is through. Okay. Now here you want to pull off quite a bit of thread.
You're a witness to
Now
connect
the thread
the
is hung.
suspect to the crime scene. They were
You want to have a bunch of thread because you're gonna
investigation was once
you're gonna
again
be working with cutting it later. So just make sure you have plenty of thread to work with.
Patty's family was devastated by the lack of progress on
And all I'm doing is sliding my material down. Let me slide this back so you can see. Sliding my material down to come off on the, to my needles come on thread.
Patty's mother scraped together whatever money she had and offered a reward to anyone with credible information.
A lot of times when there's a reward, then somebody comes forward because money talks. I hope all of a sudden there was going to be somebody that says, I know who did this. And there was going to be
Look, that one's still double.
Her plan worked, perhaps even too well. What happened when Patty's family offered a reward?
Everybody
That
seems
is
to
a
have
extra
new
thick
information. We're almost
thread
overwhelmed
there. I
with
don't know where I got
police.
that thread from, but it's thicker than the other ones.
There was a tremendous amount of finger pointing
Okay.
going on.
Now that I got it all out, I'm gonna get the scissors. And I'm just gonna cut this thread.
Detectives knew they had to chase down every lead. No matter
Okay, I'm gonna
how
move this out of my way.
In a matter of less than a month, we had interviewed over 200 people. I had followed up leads in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, various places around Nebraska.
did any of the
want
tips
that one.
seem promising?
In the end, none of them. New information developed from any of the leads.
Okay, I need to get something to measure with because for this size, I'm gonna tie it off at 11.5. So what I'm gonna do here first is I'm going to just take and give me a little bit of room, and I'm just gonna trim up these threads some. I'm gonna tie them off in groups of 2 and just cut it. That way I have some of this thread out of my way on this side.
He said he knew who had killed Patty. He said that the person had confessed to him.
And the bombshell name he gave police would force investigators to reevaluate everything they knew about the murder of Patty Wilson.
You always hear the old saying that nothing good happens after 12.
Working the graveyard shift has a certain amount of danger to it.
Under the cover of darkness is where the worst crimes occur.
Oh, I should have picked those out before I cut it. Well, I can go back and pick it out in a minute, because I will have more room.
And then I stabbed her. Dead of night, on Thursday at
Okay, now what I want to do is get this to 11.5 inches.
And this is my brother's seat. He likes to demo, I like to decorate.
All new, restored by the Fords. March 19th at 9 on HGTV.
Okay, there's my 11.5 inches. I'm going to
At Papa John's, we've added 6 new pizzas
Find
to our
a needle.
handcrafted specialty menu. Like the meatball
stick
and
pin,
pepperoni.
will work.
There's something for everyone. And right now, get any large specialty for just $12.
I'm not worried about getting these pleats straightened out or anything yet. I'm just trying to get my size. Okay, I'm going to pull out the last 2 pleats.
14 different hotel brands, so I get the right deal for every member of my
Got tangled
family.
up.
Like a double tree for
Pull
my
out the
husband
last
who
2
loves the warm
pleats.
toast chip cookies, a Homewood Sweets for my uncle who likes a long stay, a Hampton for my sister and her kids,
a lot of syrup.
and the Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills for me.
Okay.
But I thought your family vacation was
Tie
in Miami.
those off.
I hear they're having a great time. Book at Hilton.com and get the Hilton price match guarantee. If you find a lower rate, we match it and give you 25%
Then I'm
off.
going to go ahead and trim those.
Ready for anything that comes your way.
Okay, next to it, pull the last 2 pleats out.
More active cultures than meaningful biotic brands, helping you feel like a warrior inside and out, fortified from within.
See, after we smock this, we will block it to get it the size to fit the yoke. Make sure you look on your pattern instructions to see what size you need to tie yours off at for your size. Like I said, I am doing a 6-month-old size, and for 6 months old, it needs to be 11.5.
Sensitive skin? Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream with 24-hour moisture lock formula gives continuous soothing relief for dry, sensitive skin.
Okay, let me see if I still got it. 11.5.
VisualWorks can do more than
Okay,
just make you
now I didn't do this side over here, pull the pleats out, so what I'm going to do is go back.
buy one, get one free
I'm going to
sale.
cut the knots off because I want to tie them up closer.
At the game,
And I'm going to pull the
VisionWorks, we're here to help you.
last two pleats out.
Makes me feel like a kid.
I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. Maybe you can.
Our $19.99
Okay, I'm going to pull out the last 2 pleats.
wire rotation.
With our laser measured floor liners,
This is that
no
thick
turtle
one,
mud flaps,
thick thread.
cargo liner, a bump step, anything
Okay, I'm going to tie it off closer to the dress now.
everything you need to keep winter out of your vehicle. Order today at WeatherTech.com. Made right in America.
Clip my threads. Okay, cut the next one. I don't know if I don't. Okay, cut the next knot out.
There was a diary, and the diary belonged to Sandy Stevens. Possible Sandy Stevens can help us solve this case from beyond the grave.
The investigation into the murder of Patty Wilson had hit a brick wall. Despite countless hours of work, detectives were no closer to solving the case than they were the day that Patty's 4-year-old daughter discovered her lifeless body. Detectives were desperate for a new lead, and then out of